Hey everybody. Hope everybody's having a good weekend. Felt nice. Earlier in the week, turned cool yesterday and today. Excuse me. So what's everybody up to? Brian made it in. What's going on, buddy? Colton's in. Yeah, I saw that. I saw where Brian, somebody had it on a picture on Facebook, and I saw it on your video. Just sat down to eat. I hope it's not this cool this week. It's pretty. Mr. Steve's late, ain't he? Ian, what's going on, buddy? Gordon made it in. Hey, Mr. Ricky. We went to Lakeview last night and was watching some races, and it was cold, man. They had a couple cars go through the guardrail. Tore the guardrail down. It coated the whole fairgrounds. Hey, Mr. Steve, what's going on, buddy? Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up for us. We got more people in here than thumbs up. No. Pretty good racing last night. I left during the big race when they tore the guardrail up. I come home and watched it on TV. Hey, Richard, what's going on, buddy? It is cold. Yep, it is cold, Mr. Ian. I come out here about 10 minutes early and cut the air conditioning on in here. Let's see what the weather's looking like. Mr. Steve just shared it out. It says rain showers. Electrician's supposed to come tomorrow, Gordon said. Hey, Robert Thompson, what's going on, buddy? Patch of Heaven made it in. No, because that's on Valentine's Day. I'm sure not, Colton. If I didn't have time to get to Raleigh, I ain't going to be able to go nowhere else right now. We got a bunch of stuff we got to get done. A 65% chance of rain tomorrow, so there might not be a lot going on outside tomorrow either. In 40s the high. Then it gets back in the 60s though. Yeah, I saw a couple old internationals in your excuse me, in your video, Colton. Brian said he got to meet Dennis from DLH Farms. He they do a bunch of side by side riding and stuff too up that way, I think. UTVs. Colton's already looking forward to next year. Y'all decide to go on Wednesday, Colton. That way you won't have to worry about the rain on Friday. Maybe coming to see us later this year, but have to wait and see what happens with restrictions. Definitely going to Vancouver. Awesome. Good. My daughter's still enjoying it. Still enjoying it. Nice and warm. Excuse me, I don't know why in the world I got a cough tonight. Hey, IP Farms. Found a bunch. You have to get you a Case IH tractor, Brian. Little bit darker red than what you're looking at. 69 made it in. There's AJ made it in. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up. There's the link to the merch if you want something with the racing or the farming. Mr. Ricky's telling everybody to hit that thumbs up. They lazy, Mr. Ricky. We hope to get the car finished up here this week, maybe. Cranking it up every hour on the dot. I think we're going to really enjoy with the body bolting on this year instead of pot riveting. I think that's going to make it easier as far as cleaning under the car each week. Now I'm going to try to find a pressure washer. They probably 6 of one, half a dozen of the other ones. I just know that my buddies' red tractors, they seem to hold up pretty good. I can't speak on them unless they're old. Now I can tell you the old stuff. Richard said he's ready to hear that new motor. Me too, buddy. Like the bolt-on panels, yeah. I think it's going to speed things up. I wouldn't care how it looked. Me personally, I would want that sucker to work. Appreciate you coming in, Ian. Have a good week, buddy. Some might have a bunch of equipment. Hey, Mark, what's going on, buddy? Robert Thompson saying hi from Arkansas. What's the weather like there, Mr. Robert? I meant to say what the temperature was here a while ago and forgot. It's 45 and raining here. Gotta look good. You've been told not to buy a red tractor. That's the same as a blue one. I don't know, y'all. All I know is I got it. My buddy runs newer red equipment, and if it wasn't paying the bills, he wouldn't be running it because he can afford any color equipment he wants. So that's all I know. I can't afford any kind of equipment I want. That tractor we seen in Georgia. If I was to buy a new one, Gordon, that's what I would be looking at, buddy. That Osasa or whatever it was over in Georgia. They had the only electronics they had was the headlights and ignition switch. Yeah, under the 120 horse. That's right. Fancy Lambo blue paint. That drag backhoe had a Chevy big block. Robert says it's 40 in Arkansas. Brian's disagreeing. What did AJ say? He said all red and blue tractors under 120 horse are made by LS. I don't know. I mean, I thought they were, but AJ had chimed back in and talked. AJ, I think he seems to know a good bit about them, though, normally. Hey, Braden, what's going on, buddy? A few of the LS only makes much of the 40 horse. Soybeans and corn. Just saying hi. Well, we appreciate you dropping in, buddy. Still good. She's still enjoying it, buddy. I got to get y'all a video put out showing that split unit air conditioner running. In the trailer because it's doing good. There was only one combine at the show. But I don't know all them answers, buddy, about that side by side. Everything I know, I done told y'all. Mr. Davis said, you know who makes his and it ain't Oliver. IP's waiting on the air conditioner. Yeah, but I got a bunch of tools I need to do some little reviews on that I've been using lately. I told her the other night, she did ask me how much they cost, and I didn't even look. I'm going to get one of y'all to send her enclosure for it. Mr. Steve can put y'all the address up there and y'all can drop her an enclosure in for her little side-by-side. Made in Japan. You doing all right, Rick? Appreciate you dropping in, buddy. You bought a slew of new rigid stuff. Yeah, you ain't gonna regret that. I really enjoy my rigid stuff. Yeah, right there's the P.O. box. If anybody wants to send my daughter a soft cover for her UTV, right there, get you. That's where you need to send it. And then shoot me an email so I know to go check my mail. That little bug has stepped back on me a little bit. What's Mr. Davis saying now? You gonna cover that exterior unit? Yep. I got to make a cover for it, Mr. David. You right? Or get one made. Yeah, I'm gonna try to make some kind of enclosure or cover to go over it with like stretchy stuff in the bottom, because I've heard that it can be not good for them turning, going down the road, and I tell you what's pretty neat too. I don't know why it does it. I haven't researched it yet. But when you run that unit, say for 30 minutes or whatever, when it cuts off, that unit reverses and blows air backwards through that outside unit. That's going to come in handy at the dirt track. That'll keep blowing the dust back out of it. We circle track race, Robert. We run dirt track. We run a open wheel modified. All the pictures is on the wall. I can show you this. Right here is one of them. That's, you can see, I don't know how bad the glare is on it, but you can see the car. A big fertilizer fire. I heard something on the radio about a fertilizer fire. Car's gonna be different this year. We're going back black, and it's gonna still have the purple decking and stuff in it. Yeah, I heard something about a fertilizer fire. But I don't know what I heard, where I heard nothing at. And Winston, okay. I wonder what that's going to do to the price. No, like I said, when we went to Georgia, there was a little off-brand tractor there, and it went up to 120 horse. I don't even remember the name. I talked about it in my video from Georgia, but it had no electronics, no computer, nothing. It was all cable controlled and mechanical lever controlled. If I was to have to buy one tomorrow, it would be hard to not sell me on that tractor. Place has been there for years. None of this past year, Robert. We used to race when I won a bunch. Last year was our first year getting back into racing, and we finished pretty good. Had a couple seconds and fifths and fourths. but no wins. We was the big loser a lot. We'll get them though. I can't outspend them all, but I can outwork a bunch of them. And we got a bunch of good. Hey, I'm honest, AJ. We got our butt cut a bunch. But like I said, I can outwork a bunch of them. I saw my hinders and stuff. 600 tons of ammonium nitrate. Yeah. Mark was kicking around the idea of going to Kentucky. Yeah, I remember when you did go. No, Robert, we went to Minnesota, excuse me, and picked up our race car. That's the furthest I've ever been. We're in South Carolina. We went through a bunch of states getting to Minnesota. Don't think Arkansas was one, though. But we're doing a bunch of changes to the car this year. Louisville's a long way for you, Colton. I can tell you how far. Probably about 10, 11 hours. Just off my head guess. Yeah, hey, Mr. Monty. I think I spoke to you a while ago. If not, I hope I did. I wouldn't go just to go meet the big YouTube channels, though. Because they ain't going to go to meet you, buddy. Hang out with these guys that'll chat with you. You'll get way more out of it. Couple weeks. Yes, I think it's on Valentine's weekend, I think. Pull tractors. Well, I'm showing 2 weeks. Let me see if I can see when our season fires up. Always been Valentine. That's what I remember about it. Christina had a good time. Good. I don't know. So much other stuff to see and do. I agree, AJ. I mean, there's some of them that that won't mind seeing, but I ain't gonna drool over none of them. I ain't going out the way. Like I said, I'd rather meet somebody that's befriended me than somebody that I know ain't gonna never want to be a friend. So Arkansas has some of the best dirt track racing. Awesome. I do like watching Between the Rows, Zach. He's the one of the real big farm channels on YouTube. He dirt track races on his second channel out in Minnesota area and states all around there. Check out American Landmaster. No, I ain't never heard of them, Braden. Nope, never heard of them side-by-side UTVs. Before he was a big star. I still ain't a big star. Okay, they're made in the USA. That video the other day I done on the trailer or the car, whatever I was working on the car, I had a little thing stuck in there about an upcoming video and only one person commented on it. So that tells me that most people don't watch much longer than it takes to comment. Keep up on the videos. That's right, Rick. The other local guy here that runs that we got Gerald Farms YouTube on the hood of his car, they run second last night. Had a good run. Braden's gonna send a link. Need to come see Jackie's Hollywood studio. There ain't nothing Hollywood here, guys. Tony's Tractor Adventures done videos on them. Okay. But that that video the other night, the upcoming video is going to be we're putting enclosure strips in our side door of our trailer and somewhere for the back door to keep the heat and the air in when we get the track going in and out. And that kit's made in the USA. I thought that was pretty neat. Let's figure out where they're coming from. It's where they're trying to go. Robert, I'd probably say my favorite tractor is International 574. It's what I used up until the past 2 years when I got my first cab tractor. Just buy old reefer trailers. Okay. Yeah, man, that little mini split unit we put in, so far that thing seems to be going to do the trick. We'll be putting out fertilizer here before too long, as long as the ground dries up enough we can. Depends on when it warms up, Colt, and if we get a late frost, you get a late frost that sets our coastal back. Yeah, the 574 hired man running out of oil. Mr. Steve might could answer that, Colton. How long? If I had to guess, 2.5 years. May, early June. That's about right. Appreciate you coming in, Braden. Have a good week, buddy. Solace is the name of the tractor we've seen in Georgia. Mr. David is Thermo King certified. You need to make sure that my trailer will feel like a Thermo King when we're trying to race this summer. Mr. Steve said about 3 years we've been doing the live. We've been doing it long enough that I've heard a couple of the big channels say that less than that amount of time ago there weren't but 2 or 3 farm channels on here. And I know that was a lie because we've been doing it longer than that. We just ain't in that clique. So you have a steady supply of them. Got a magnetic flag holder from Steiner. Supposed to be in the car. Pulled down to minus 20. Wow. Yeah, I bet so. A few used to come in. I've had Mike from Wyoming Life used to come in some on Sunday nights when we first started. And now he does a live the same time we do. Yep, because I used to do them in the house. Y'all remember that? I do them in my son's bedroom because it would be too cold out here in the winter. And then I would do them in the front of the shop before we built the office. $10.66 doing hay. Then Mr. Monty showed up and was a guest on our live here at the shop. Mr. Steve Mack come here and was a guest. I use a New Holland disc bind too. No, a disc mower is what I use, not a disc bind. A 616 disc mower. Robert has a John Deere. There ain't nothing wrong with them, buddy. I'd like to have one. I'd had one if I'd have found one I could afford. I don't remember what that New Holland baler is we got back there, Colton. Gordon might remember what it is. It might be a 648. I don't remember. If it is, it's for sale. So if you need a good baler, we got one for sale, Colton. It's been 2.5 years. Wow, that's a long. It don't seem that long, Mr. Monty. I think Coon did make the Mocos, didn't he? That's because I at one time I heard Deere didn't even make none of their hay cutters. That Coon made all of it. I really like the New Holland disc mower we got. Starting to show its age a little in some of the heavy fields. But for the amount of hay we do versus the price of a new one, New Holland is a hay bind. Yeah, you're right, Gordon. House hay equipment. Around here, most of it, I would say New Holland is the biggest hay equipment. Mustang James, what's going on, buddy? We did have a good weekend. Went to the racetrack last night to watch, and it was pretty cold. A baler you can drive. Yep, I saw that. I would like to see one of the Vermeer continuous balers, round balers where you don't have to stop. Got down to 15 there last night. Wow. See, we good 37 tonight, 37 tomorrow night. Yeah, our next night below freezing really ain't until next Sunday night. Mark runs Deere hay equipment. I sure hope so, Colton. I'm ready for some little bit of warmer. I got a bunch of work I need to do outside. There's no hay in my area to be bought, Robert. Right here where I'm particularly at. Mr. David dislikes hot New Holland cutter bar drive. Run the Chrome 320 easy cuts. The last hay that I'm hearing is $55, $60 a round bale here in my area, but there's not a lot for sale right now. Except for that farming for fun and profit right there. He's got a couple thousand bales for sale here in South Carolina. They got plenty. That's the hay kings. See? Does Case make hay mowers? I don't know. I mean, New Holland is Case in essence in my book, but it's not Case branded, so. See, there's AJ. That's what I was saying. In my book, they're the same. My baler is a Case IH baler, but it ain't nothing but a Heston, to be honest. Yeah, because when my baler was made, Case and New Holland wasn't one. Heston made them for Case back then. Which I can't complain. That's a good baler too. If it had net wrap on it, I'd put it side by side with a brand new one. They're gonna beat me on the tying process. They won't beat me on the building, the rolling the bale. It's got to be made at the same place. So 96 to a guy in Lexington. Yeah, that's what kills the speed of mine because it's not a net wrap. But that baby will eat now. All the hay equipment is made in PA. What don't y'all like about the New Holland drive, Mr. David? My New Holland, I've had it for 6 years probably. And I bought it used from a guy. And, knock on wood, I've only ever had to put one belt on it and no internal work. Cleaned up all 3 of your bellers yesterday. You lost a calf, buddy. I hate to hear that. Cub Cadet, Colton. How old is your Case IH mower, Mr. Monty? Was it pre the merge with Case and New Holland? Yeah, that first milk can be tricky, Brian. That colostrum, yeah, they say they don't have to have it, but what happens is on a cat when a calf is born, and when a calf takes its first breath of air and it ingests that air, the holes in the stomach, the lining of the calf's stomach has holes in it for it to suck up the nutrients and the antibodies and stuff out of that colostrum from its mama. So it gets its first antibodies straight from its mama through that colostrum and that milk, and it absorbs it through its stomach. So from minute one when it's born to say hour 12, them holes start getting less and less, closing up, closing up. So the longer that time frame goes along, say it was 9 hours before you give it a bottle, you know, 9 of 12 is what? Over half. It's just a lot less efficient of that calf absorbing it to get what it needs. The cutter bar is driven by the end turtle. Yeah, but good night. I mean, I ain't had no trouble out of that sucker, Mr. David. And there for years, I done 120, 125 acres of coastal, 3, 4 cuttings a year. Excuse me. Oh yeah, and no matter what you do, you ain't gonna save them all. See, Robert raises cows too. Good deal. Yeah, like I said, it's hard to say, man. No matter what you do, you're gonna doubt yourself. You're gonna question yourself, and I know the earlier that you can get it to them, the easier, the better. The better the chances are. And sometimes I'll tie the mama up. If I have a first mom act crazy, I'll run her in the corral and squeeze her and put the baby on her. The next said that don't always work. Sometimes it just ain't meant to be, or something could be wrong with the calf. That might be why the mama rejects it sometimes. She might know more than we do sometimes. The calf might not be developed proper. She's got a way of knowing that, and me and you don't. IP Farms, I appreciate you coming in, buddy. Have a good week. Think the mom wasn't healthy enough. I said, it happens, man. You have livestock, you're going to have dead stock. That's part of it. Don't make it no easier, though. She's the only cow you got that looks poor. Do you know what number it was? If you're talking to me, Colton asked me a little something to go with that, buddy. Got to go hang with the missus. Appreciate you coming in, Mustang James. Have a good week, buddy. 3 on the ground, 3 to go. Yeah, that's right. I mean, like I said, sometimes it don't matter what you do. What's everybody got planned for the upcoming week? Appreciate you coming in, Colton. Have a good week, buddy. I got a field at the end of my road down here that if any of these cutters that'll cut it at 9-10 mile an hour, I want to see it because I want to buy one. Gordon can tell you about it. That's right, Mr. Robert. As soon as you figure one little step out, something they'll throw you another curveball. Mr. Monty's doing some firewood and hay deliveries this week. Mark said good luck with deer disc buying. Has no belts to slip. That's a plus. Mark's talking about working on his race truck. Now we're talking. No, the field ain't rough. The field is old timey coastal. Bahia, and there's one other kind of grass I can't remember. This old timey. And when you fertilize that mess, it'll do about 6 bales to the acre. And hard to cut. I seen brand new cutters won't cut it fast. I'd love to see it in here, Mr. David. I've seen some brand new $50,000 cutters. Had to slow up. I told the Vermeer guy, he told me his would cut it. I told him to bring it out here. And if it would cut it, we'd write him a check for it. He didn't dare show up. That was back in the summer when I was tired of. Now they'll all cut it, not Robert, but you're gonna go 4 mile an hour, 5 mile an hour. Love glass. None of her love glass. I want to see it here. Shoot, I want to see it because I would love to have one myself. Like I said, this guy's got. Yeah, y'all seen the hayfield being cut several times. I'm working it now. You saw the guy running that brand new case. I don't remember the model number, but where the guy cut, raked, and baled all at the same time. That's one of them fields. Yeah, his cutter is like 14 or 15 foot with like 180 horse tractor, and it won't even come close. Local fence dealer. Triple mounted. 500 horse. Wow. Oh, great, love grass. Just posted one about 10 minutes ago. Without bouncing out the track. You right. Yeah, fresh hay smells good. I like the smell of dirt too, but I just don't get to smell dirt being worked hardly. Guess it doesn't make it worse. No, I ain't never heard of love grass for cows. Unless it's just effing hay. All right, guys and gals, I reckon I'm going to go ahead and shut her down and get this shop closed up and go in and get me a shower. But I appreciate all of y'all coming in and hanging out with us and chatting, and look forward to seeing y'all next Sunday night. Don't forget we drop videos on Tuesday nights and Thursday nights, and look forward to seeing y'all again next Sunday night. Y'all have a good week.